I'm Stan Connolly. I'm president of Gulf Power Company and honored to also be a trustee for Triumph Gulf Coast. So I have a personal interest in this bill and a personal interest in working with this team behind me to get things done. It's hard to believe that it's been 7 years. Think about that, 2010, since the Deepwater Horizon spill. It's been 7 years and an awful lot of work since that date to help Florida get back where Florida needed to be. You think about the work that our Attorney General did to create a settlement for the state of Florida that's going to bring $2 billion to this state as a settlement for that oil spill. An oil spill that impacted our homes and the counties represented by these representatives behind me, from Escambia County to Wakulla County. Since that date, we've had a team like the team behind me working very hard in the legislature to be sure that our region, our home, got to share in those funds. And so as a result of that, 75% of those dollars are going to be coming to those 8 counties, to those 8 disproportionately impacted counties. And then most recently during this session, many of the people standing behind me worked very hard to get that first amount appropriated to Northwest Florida, to Triumph Gulf Coast. And as a result of that, and as a result of our governor signing House Bill 7077 last Friday, our region now is the recipient of the first $300 million toward Triumph Gulf Coast. Let's go to International Airport, and look, this airport's an emblem of this economy and things that we can do to diversify this economy. You see on the TV screens on my left and my right pictures of a facility that's just across the runway. BT, Mobile, Aerospace, Engineering, and their new facility right here. And we've got Alvin Bass with us. Alvin, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to create 400 new jobs in that facility and $46 million worth of investment. And this is an emblem of diversifying this region's economy. So I'm honored to be a part of the team, and you're going to hear from a number of teammates today as we talk about moving forward in Northwest Florida. But I want to bring up now an important teammate to all of us and to all of our state, who since coming to office and being elected in 2010 has helped create almost 1.4 million private sector jobs for Florida. I think you've all had the opportunity to interact with Governor Rick Scott, but since he has come to office, his commitment not only to this state, and that's his job to be committed to this entire state, but the times we've seen him right here in Escambia County or any of these other counties that we're here to talk about today. He's been here quite often, investing with us for the success of Northwest Florida. Please join me in welcoming our 45th governor, Governor Rick Scott.
It's always nice to be here. It's a beautiful part of the state. Your mayor calls me all the time, tells me what a wonderful place it is to live, work, and play. He was bragging today that I guess it's the biggest airport between New Orleans and Jacksonville, and he's going to continue to make sure it grows. So I want to thank Stan Connolly. He's somebody I have had the opportunity to meet and work with almost, I guess, you guys took your job about when I got my job, right after I did. And there's a lot of people here in the Pensacola area that worked hard for jobs. As you all know, I ran in 2010 on a job platform because the 4 prior years, which is the 2010 year I ran when the oil spill happened, but this state lost 832,000 jobs. This part of the state was hurting. I remember sitting down with people from the Panhandle right after I got elected to see if we could get money from BP to start marketing this area of the state. And we were able to get $30 million, and I know they spent some money on top of that to market and get this part of the state back to work. But we've had a big turnaround in the entire state. As Stan said, we've added now almost 1.4 million jobs. We've been added at a rate about 20,000 jobs a month. But we have to keep doing this now. What's exciting is when you go to, we were just with a lot of individuals standing up here, we did BT Aerospace, and we did the groundbreaking. I met with them, with some others here at the air show over in Farnborough. And these opportunities, whether it's that or whether it's Navy Federal Credit Union, these are the opportunities we have if we spend this money well. My goal with this is that we're going to add a lot of jobs. If you think about, if you're the governor and you travel the state the way I do, I'm in 2 or 3 cities a day, people care about I want a job, and then they want a job, and then they want a job. And they have children or grandchildren, they want to have a good education, and they want to be safe. So if we have more jobs, we have more money for education. If we have more jobs, we have more money for law enforcement, all the things that people care about. So I'm excited to sign this bill. It's $300 million. I want to thank everybody that worked hard to make sure this happened. And I look forward to watching all the success of the fund that's going to spend this money well and give us a lot more jobs. Now we'll sign. I know everybody's going to work really hard to get more jobs, but if you really look at the Panhandle should have all the manufacturing jobs that Mississippi has, Alabama has, and Georgia has. If you look at a lot of success we've had over the last little over 6 years, we're being able to get more back office jobs, regional office jobs, corporate office jobs. All those could be in the Panhandle. So if we spend these dollars well, we're going to grow this economy, and then we can continue to, whether it's invest in things that Bill cares about, like art, or whether it's invest in our K-12 education system, we'll have all the money to do it. So I think we have some more speakers now.
All right, as I said earlier, I have the pleasure of working with a lot of great teammates that you have behind us here today. First, I want to call up Pensacola Mayor Ashton Hayward.
Stan, thank you very much, and I want to thank everybody for being here at Pensacola International Airport. And I want to thank everyone in the office, out in the audience, most importantly. But if you think about it, I don't think we talk enough about what Governor Scott has done and what he's meant to the great state of Florida. We met each other in 2011 when we were celebrating 100 years of naval aviation out of Pensacola NAS. And he said, listen, we are going to be here for Pensacola and Escambia County in Northwest Florida. And if you think about it, the 1,300 plus miles of shoreline that we have in the great state of Florida, Rick Scott understood what the oil spill did to our great community. He understood how important the Triumph Bill is to Northwest Florida and obviously Pensacola and Escambia County. I know we have some friends and neighbors from Santa Rosa County in the back. I want to welcome them here to Pensacola. But when you talk about what we're doing in Northwest Florida, he has never not been there for Pensacola and for us in our business community. I know he's called for a special session next week, so I know our legislators behind us are going to support him and support what we're doing in the great city and the county of Pensacola, Florida. So if you think about that first $300 million that's come down the pipe, we could do 10 more Navy Federals or 10 more VTMAEs, and we can compete with anyone in our great country, our state, and obviously other states, our neighboring states, and around the world for that matter. So again, it's an honor to work side by side with the governor. Let's continue to support him. And again, I want to thank the team behind me. Thanks Stan Colley and his leadership from the private sector. And most importantly, thank all of you for believing in what we've done the last 7 years and what we will continue to do to serve the great citizens of Pensacola and our great state. Thank you.
Next, I want to call up our District 1 Senator, Doug Broxton. Thank you.
To echo what the mayor said, I don't think I could elicit and tell you what the governor has done for the last 7 years for the Panhandle. In January of 2011, we took the 8 counties into his office and asked for $20 million to help the economy and the tourism. He said, why not 30? So he was on the phone with the CEO of BP to get 30 rather than the 20 we requested. Governor, this has been a marathon, but here we are. And I would say we're happy, but we're almost giddy because this day is going to be a great day for the Panhandle, a great day not only for our family, but our children and our grandchildren. So thank you for your dedication and your work. and thank God that we had such a strong company in BP that stood up to their obligation and did what was right for Florida. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce one of our state representatives. It may not be so familiar to some of you here locally in Pensacola, but an incredibly important member of our team. That's District 4 Representative Mel Panhandle.
Good afternoon. It's an amazing honor to be here. This is a big day for Northwest Florida. It's a game changer. The people behind me, obviously Governor Scott, if he's still here, thank you so much for the honor of your signature on this bill. It's a generational changer, the way I've kind of said it. And so I'm really encouraged and excited. I want to thank Representative Jay Trumbull, who's the chairman of the House side, of course Senator Broxton, Senator Gainer, Senator Munford on the Senate side, House Speaker Corcoran, Senate President Negron, Stan Conley and your team, as well as many others. I know Kim Wilms is here from Florida's Great Northwest, and many other regional partners that kind of brought this thing together to be cheerleaders more than anything else. But it's an honor to be part of the team. I'm saying get ready, Northwest Florida, because this is a game changer for us. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be teammates of everybody behind me, and so it's an honor to be here. Thanks.
Next, I want to bring up District 2 Representative Frank White.
This is a great day for the Panhandle, and I'm thrilled and lucky to be a part of it here right at this signing. I know that the history began way back 7 years ago. We all remember. Each of you were directly affected, or people from, if your hobby was fishing all the way to, technicians at Bob Cole Automotive. I mean, everybody up and down was affected and felt the impact. And I know if you've heard Dr. Rick Harper speak, he has one slide that to me tells the story where he shows we were just pulling out of the recession, growth was going, and then all of a sudden the oil spill hit. And you can see that after 3, 4, 5 years, we kind of picked back up on the trajectory, but that period was forever permanent lost wealth for our area. And so this goes a long way. If we invest it wisely, and I Triumph will do that within the confines of this bill, we'll go a long way to restoring our economy, to strengthening it, and to diversifying the economy. Thank you to my colleagues. A lot of meetings, a lot of time and negotiations went into coming to where we are today. And most of all, thank you to Governor Scott. He is a great friend of the Panhandle. And thank you for your relentless focus on jobs, and for signing this bill that will make a difference for our area.
All right, next, it's hard to call Clay Ingram the senior statesman in the delegation. Among the representatives here today, he is the senior statesman. From District 1, Representative Clay Ingram.
Statesman, you're all in trouble. As we went about the work on the House side, and all of my House colleagues were served. We all served together on the House Select Committee on Triumph. We thought back to that time in 2010 when there was oil on the beaches. People were in trouble. There was uncertainty. We didn't know if we would ever be whole again. And I think there was a big concern that the legacy of the oil spill would be that every server at every restaurant got a big screen TV after it, but the business owners and the homeowners paid a price and went out of business and were foreclosed on. And so we wanted to change that dynamic. And obviously there are other avenues that help change that dynamic. Restore and some other environmental focused monies. But we really wanted this to be the game changer that we all envisioned. To change the direction of our economy. And that's the product that we ended up with. I think we're all very proud of that. And so, again, allow me to echo my thanks to the governor for being here and signing this bill. It really is going to create generational change. Mayor, thank you for doing your part and advocating. And we're so happy to have folks like Stan Conley who are going to be the trustees that are going to make the decisions about how this money gets spent. I think it's very reassuring to know that they're very thoughtful, intelligent people that are going to make the decisions on how the Triumph money is spent. So, thank you all for being here. This really is a day to celebrate. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. God bless you all. Thank you.
And now from District 3, Representative J.R. Williams.
I get to figure out how to say the same thing but say it a little bit different. First of all, this is a great day of celebration, and over the last year, whether it was 6 years on the campaign trail or 6 months on the campaign trail, it felt like 6 years, but 6 months, or the last 6 months as a representative, every single day that I've woken up, I've thought about the most important thing that we can do is make sure that the Triumph money comes home.
And as I thought that later in the day, there was always one person that reminded me every day the last year that this money needs to come home. Through the work of Chairman Trumbull, who did a great job. He couldn't be here today, but he did a great job on helping the House side. Senator Broxson did a great job in the Senate. We appreciate all the work. The Panhandle delegation came together. We're a tight-knit group of people. We came together and worked as hard as we could, and we think we had a great bill that the governor just signed. And Governor, I want to thank you for coming to the Panhandle, because often in the past we are surprised when we get visits, the visits from our governor. Our governor comes to Northwest Florida a lot, and we should be proud of that. We've got a great governor. We thank you for signing the bill today, and thank you so much. For, if I can ever be of any help, please let me know.
And last but not least, we have here representing Escambia County, and as well as county commissioners from all over the Northwest Florida area, Commissioner Grover Robinson.
Governor, I want to thank you for my second signing pen, but this one is far more important to me for the importance that Triumph does mean to Northwest Florida. As you said, 7 years ago, I remember being on the beach. I remember being with a different governor. Perhaps if you had been governor, this trajectory had all been a little bit different. But we are certainly thankful you are the governor now, and you have helped us for the last 7 years in whatever we've tried to move forward and recover from the BP oil spill. I also really want to thank our delegation. I don't think you understand sometimes if you don't go to Tallahassee enough how outnumbered we are, but the important part is that we're working together. And I think that really started in seeing counties come to work together to say, you know what, we got to quit fighting each other. We're a region. This is vitally important to our community. So again, all the things that we've done here, I think have been important to help make this day come forward. I really appreciate Senator Broxson and our representatives, Ingram, White, and Williamson, even from Santa, and of course also Ponder from Okaloosa, all of them. But our whole delegation really worked together well, and I think that's what's going to be important as we go forward. If Northwest Florida can continue to work together, you see the things we've been successful at with Restore or with Triumph, the sky's the limit, and I'm just happy to be a part of the team.
If I can just close with a few thoughts. You heard of several of the people that came before you make reference to the future, and in part make reference to me being one of the trustees of Triumph Gulf Coast. Trust me, I feel that pressure, because if you think about what this is intended to do, it's intended to be long-term and generational for these 8 counties. You know, I look around this room and I see servicemen and women or veterans. I think about this airport and what it means to tourism. And you think about those 2 pillars of this economy, the military pillar, the tourism pillar. I think we as a region, if you think about economic development being a team sport and looking for ways to think transformationally about ways to diversify this economy, the men behind me and the people before me are a part of that team. And I would just implore you all, let's stick together as a team. We have so much opportunity right here in front of us with this first $300 million. And make no mistake, the future appropriations to us could in part be based on how well we spend these $300 million. We've got to stay together as a team, thinking transformationally, thinking regionally, but thinking team as we do. Thank you all for being here today. I'm sure the men behind me would love to have your handshake, thanking them for their hard work. Governor, one more time, thank you for signing this bill. Thank you all for being here today, and we are adjourned.
Okay.